1 in 3 Americans has been impacted by the criminal legal system, and very, very few people with that perspective are in any kind of decision-making authority when we're having conversations around the role of policing and mass incarceration. I want there to be formerly incarcerated people in every legislature and in Congress, probably on city councils and school boards and all of that. We know the trauma associated with incarceration and with reentry and the barriers and how difficult it is. When I was released from prison, I was facing so many legal barriers not related to my criminal conviction, overwhelming amounts of court fines and fees, unable to find employment or housing. Today, I'm about to be a state legislator. I am, really confident in that. I am a lawyer. I still can't get life insurance. I still cannot volunteer and chaperone my child on a school field trip. I was working at a fast food restaurant, but the state was garnishing half of my paycheck to pay these court fines and fees. At the same time, it was really hard to find stable housing that I could afford on the little amount of money that I could earn, because it was really hard to find gainful employment enough to provide for my children. I started to think this is why people go back to the underground economy and selling drugs or stealing to provide for basic needs. I need a career that I can provide for my kids on, and there's really not very many options, but also I'm just one of many millions of people who are struggling with these challenges, and I'm going to figure out how to change this. So that's really what fueled me to go to law school. I graduated law school in 2017, and originally I was denied the right to take the bar exam because of my past, and I appealed to the state Supreme Court, and I won in a unanimous same-day decision. And throughout all of my advocacy work and becoming an attorney, decided that I wanted to run for the legislature to increase the impact on the issues that I care most about around incarceration and giving people a first chance so they don't need a second chance later on in life. We absolutely know that policing and mass incarceration was designed to continue to keep the Black community oppressed. And so it's very much rooted in racism. Our legislature is very white. Our community is very white here. But I think that they identify with me and my story because I look like them. However, I also have 2 Black sons who have not had teachers that look like them and who have been pulled over and, in my mind, unjustly profiled in different situations based on the color of their skin. I think about it chronologically around where folks first get caught up, and a lot of times it's in our school system, in our education system, and having school resource officers there, police who are criminalizing youthful behavior. We should be looking at the root cause of any misbehavior that kids are going through. 9 times out of 10, they've got something going on at home. Families, again, generational trauma, generational oppression. If you look at the data and who was impacted based on marijuana in our state versus who's impacted and convicted of a violent offense, it could be the same behavior, but because of racism and implicit bias, a lot of times you'll see people charged differently, and it's a lot of times people of color who are given the harder charges, the more length of sentence. Here in Seattle, we've completely decriminalized drug possession. Instead, police are transferring individuals' warm handoffs right into case management. I don't even think we need police to do that, right? We should just have case management for people. They should have housing set up. They should have social supports set up, opportunity for education, employment, already set up before they leave. What happens now is people are given $40 and a bus ticket and told not to come back. And that's a disaster. It's gross. They need to have enough money set aside to cover their basic human needs and a little bit of extra. People need to have a true reentry plan set up before they leave. And that's how you're going to make sure that folks are successful.